Denisha Provo, a proud native of North Preston, Nova Scotia, embodies resilience as a professional basketball player whose journey began at the age of 6. Graduating with a bachelor's degree in health science and sociology from the University of Utah, Daneesha has represented Canada for 8 years, overcoming significant injuries to inspire young women in sports. Committed to empowering minority females basketball players in Nova Scotia, her organization aims to cultivate opportunities for mentorship and advocating for inclusivity and community engagement through athletics. Thank you for being in the studio with us today, Daneesha.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Finally, I've been trying to get her forever. But you know what? You live a very active lifestyle.
Yes.
You're always traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about who you are.
So obviously Denisha Provo, born and raised from Nova Scotia, North Preston to be exact. And it's always been a dream to play professionally. Never really thought that it could happen until my dad kind of just embodied me to work hard and then get my education paid for and then just travel the world. And I'm so thankful for that. Yeah. But just being a professional basketball player has taught me so much with like traveling the world, playing basketball, meeting people from all over, and then just showing our young girls that anything can happen. You can reach your dreams no matter where you are. It's possible. Obviously, being from Nova Scotia, that was definitely hard trying to make the Canadian national team, but I just stuck with it because I just wanted to keep, knocking down the barriers and kind of just being that role model for the young girls, which I am so thankful and I appreciate so much. They all look up to me. But it's definitely a blessing. I am so blessed in so many different ways. I have so many people that support me. My dad's probably my biggest supporter from day one. Yes, from the highs to the lows, and obviously injuries were really tough. But I think the injuries, it's part of the game. You're going to get injured. It's like how you kind of just bounce back, and obviously torn an ACL and an Achilles, the biggest ones.
They are the biggest.
Yes.
And the most painful too, I think.
Most painful.
Yes.
And when I tore my ACL, I still got a professional contract in Germany and killed it. Came back better than ever. And then obviously got back to, square one and got invited to the Olympics tryouts in 2021.
Right. Yes.
And tore it 2 weeks before the Olympics, which was devastating.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think I remember you were on crutches at that point.
Yeah, it was really bad. The timing was so bad. But I just took, fueled the fire and kind of took that time. It was the first time I just sat still and kind of came up with my Denisha Provo Canadian Basketball Academy for young girls. So very thankful for that. And
so out of the fire comes something really refined, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And there's two things that I want to get to because you had said a whole lot in that introduction. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So your dad's a coach.
Yes.
So do you think that was very influential and helpful in pushing you to this level, to this point of even aspiring to be a professional basketball player?
Yes. I definitely do believe that, but he can always separate the two.
Yeah.
Some parents can't. Either coach.
Good point.
Yeah. So I'm so thankful for my dad being able to separate the two, and him just being a coach, and honestly him being a teacher was very helpful because he's taught me that academics is very important, and in order to get to university, that's kind of what you need. And then also the gym situation, you're able to get in every morning before class. So, and summers are off. So I just had everything. I had a coach, a father, a mentor, role model. So very blessed for that.
You absolutely did. And I know your dad from being one of the educators at the Grand Prairie Junior High School. So very well looked after. You're in good hands. How important is it to hear affirmations and encouragement through a parent such as your dad on a regular basis? Because some of our kids don't get that.
Yeah.
Right? Which could make or break, their dreams.
Yeah.
What can you speak to about that?
I feel like my dad, tough love. Obviously, you got to really, if you've seen him coach, he's very intense. And but it's from a good heart.
Yes,
it's a good heart. And he's just very understanding. Even after a bad game, I have to take criticism. And, he doesn't beat me down. He gives me the positive and he gives me the negative. Yeah. And I just love that so much because sometimes the negative, I don't want to hear it all the time. I need stuff to build me up. But he's just so great with his words and kind of like he's a teacher.
Yeah,
Like what he needs to see me and then what I need to do.
absolutely.
There's times I was really bad at basketball and I would cry and I'd be like, Dad, like
we go through the emotions.
Yeah, it's so much. And he's like, honestly, like I am just tired of you crying. Either you want it or you don't.
That's
and it's
right.
up to you. So he just put it in my hands and I just kind of feel that fire.
Well,
and kept
not only
going.
that, but put it in perspective.
Perspective
Do you
too.
want it or you
Yes.
don't?
Yeah.
Because this is like you just said. You said something about injuries are part of
it.
part of
Yeah.
of the game, part
Mhm.
of the growing and
Yes.
stretching. And I think you and I also had a conversation earlier about a program that we were talking about for 50 for free,
Mhm.
and some of the components about being a young athlete. Rest,
Right? Yeah.
Which helps with your muscles and
Mhm.
stretching and all those good things.
Yeah.
And when injury happens, it's better for recovery.
Yes,
Would you speak to
exactly. Yeah, so definitely rest is big. Injuries, part of the game, obviously, but it's also what you consume in your body.
that? Right. What you eat.
Yeah, what you eat. That's the big thing. Obviously, during COVID, when I was going through my ACL injury, I did become a pescatarian. It was the best decision I've ever made.
You don't miss meat?
I didn't, but I do eat meat now,
Okay,
but just
okay.
during the injury, I just
Okay.
needed my body to just be cleaned. I needed to have the proper recovery, proper
Yes.
sleep, the proper diet. I did consider becoming vegan for my Achilles, but that wasn't the smartest thing because you can't go cold turkey.
That's right.
I need to
That's
learn
right.
more
Yeah.
and kind of, I
That's
will
right.
get there.
Well, educate yourself to how to be able
Yeah.
to take care of yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But yeah, injury is definitely something that you have to deal with and cope with. And mentally, it is very hard. Physically, emotionally, everything. You either come out of it or you just walk away.
Right.
And I just feel like I'm too resilient to just walk away. I
I
just
don't
need
see you
to
as a walk away person.
No, I just need to
Unless
keep
it's
knocking
drama.
down. Yes. Walk away. I'm
Right.
like, drama, no, I'm
Right.
good with that.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
And
great.
and the other part, you said something which I love. You said being still. Right?
Yes.
Centering yourself
Yes.
and taking it. And I think that's a humble thing to be able to go through an injury,
Yes.
bounce back, and become better.
Better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, being still was definitely, that's actually the first time in my life, because I'm always on go. I'm never here in the summer. I'm traveling
Sound like
different
me.
country. Yes, always. But that Achilles injury did teach me a lot about who I am, and I'm more than just a basketball player. And also just let me sit still to just enjoy and appreciate the small things. Either it was to walk or to play the game and, I felt kind of like a failure that I'm letting the girls down, that like I'm going through an injury, but they do appreciate me so much more.
Yeah.
Being able to keep
Have come through
going
that.
and come through that.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like I use that fire to start the academy and just give them the tools and the connections that they need, because I wish I had that growing up.
That's
So
right.
just
Well,
trying
we're
to
going
help
to get
them.
into that because
Yes.
I am so for this academy. But share with me how growing up in North Preston shaped your love and your desire for the sport of basketball,
Mhm.
but also, the heart for, having such a resilient spirit.
Yes.
You want
It's
to share a
hard.
little bit about that?
Yes. I never actually got to talk about this live about North Preston.
Yeah.
I think everyone that knows me from that community, I was definitely the only girl on the court, and they did not let loose. They did not want to get beat by a girl, but they kind of actually, a lot of the guys encouraged me, like, oh, like you're a really good shooter, but I'm not going to let you beat me. And it's just like, kind of like, okay, I need to like just play with the boys. And they just like started and they welcomed me to play like pickup games and play all these different games on the court. And I'd be out there until like late at night. My grandma's house is literally like 2 seconds away. And it was just times where she just needed to yell for me to come home. But I just enjoyed it. But also I think the community, it was just like, not only am I playing for myself, I'm playing for my community.
That's
and
right.
the people that kind of helped raise me and got me there, because I do carry that pride on my shoulder of where I'm from. And there's times I have to tell people, like, I'm not from Core Harbor. I'm not from Dartmouth. I need you to put North Preston,
That's
because
right.
that's kind of,
That's
that shaped me. And I'm so thankful for
Yeah.
it. So,
And I think it also helps put the community on the map as well, to
Yes.
hear the name, for you to even say
Yes.
it out loud.
Mhm.
And because what we know, how we see our community, is
Yes.
vastly different than how it's painted, right?
Yes.
Whether it's through media or somebody else's non-experience
Mhm.
of North Preston, but very proud of you, absolutely,
Yes.
to have you represent us in Canada's World Youth.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you also mentioned your little brother, because I do want to ask you about him.
Yes.
Is he aspiring to, be in your footsteps as an athlete?
Yes. He's growing. He just started last year, and he definitely has natural talent. but I do see that he does look up to me.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes I'm trying to teach him, he doesn't want to listen. I'm like, do you know who I am? Like, anybody would die to have like a sister who's kind of accomplished everything. But I mean, it's just the siblings love. But he's definitely inspired in a different way, in the sense that like he will ask me questions, and we literally just took him to New York 2 weeks ago for 2 weeks with us.
Nice.
And that's kind of what I would do every summer, just playing on the courts there in New York and just seeing the world. And he's loved it so much.
He's a beautiful little boy. I've met him.
And I would say one thing about him.
Yes.
I don't know. I've not met one person that has met this little boy. He's been to Utah with us. He's been to New York. He's been with us. And everyone just asks about him. I don't know what. He just has this trait where he just gets along with everybody. And it's
genuine.
It's genuine. And it's like, oh my God, like everyone loves him. He has like a big spirit, a big heart. And that's like one trait. I'm like, don't let anyone take that away from you.
Don't rob him of that.
No.
Okay, so let's get back to Canada and the representation, because you've had a very impressive career representing Canada on the international stage and on those courts as well. What has been some of the highlights and challenges playing at such a high level?
Definitely a challenge would be getting invited to play for Team Canada and getting cut my first year. That was actually the first year. I was only Nova Scotian, and I was just an outsider. But obviously, I had my cousin Shay Colley, so that kind of made me.
She's actually your friend right now with the Olympics.
Yes, and she's in the Olympics, so like go Shay and Team Canada. But she was actually a big part of kind of why I made it, and just sticking with it, and kind of just having like a sister there and family. I just think it makes it so much easier. But getting cut my first year was really hard. It was kind of like, damn, like I tried so hard, I worked so hard, but I was an alternate. And then the following year after that, I just kept making the team, and I just fueled the fire. And I was really like the one Nova Scotian on the women's side, where it's like, oh, like we love her, we want her back. And I kind of just used that to keep going.
Do you think that having a right mental attitude and a heart attitude was able to bring you back after that, the cut? Like, I know you said an alternate. I don't know what that means in sports terms, but can you explain a little bit about that? Like, what do you think brought you back there, other than the connection with
Shay? Yeah. Anybody can be a basketball player at the end of the day. I think just being a good person, having a work ethics where it's like you're working hard, and kind of what you bring to the table. I think Team Canada definitely did see, and they've been so loyal to me with my injuries. They've always brought me back, no matter what injury it was. But it's like also I've played there so many years. The girls know me. My game speaks for itself. I think me getting cut was kind of like an eye opener. Not everyone's journey is kind of like
now it's back to reality.
Yeah, it's like reality. It's like, okay, I'm the best in Nova Scotia, but I'm still not good enough. And I think with that, it's either you let your ego get in the way, or you just keep pushing and proving people wrong. But that's just a life lesson. Yes. Not everything's going to go your way.
Absolutely. So love it. Love the answer.
Yes.
So how have your experiences as a professional athlete shaped your views on leadership and community involvement?
Definitely the leadership part is being able to be in different countries and be a leader in different ways. Obviously, we don't speak the language, but you do show by example. If you work hard, you do well, if you respect the coaches, your teammates will follow. So I obviously use that with my business, of course, of being a leader and being a strong, independent Black female here and just paving the way. For community, it's definitely, the world is so crazy because a lot of people are just similar in different ways. They're just raised differently. But a lot of us, if you have a big heart, people can see it. I was in China for 6 months. I played, and then I worked at an academy. None of the kids spoke English at all, but the owner, no English, but I don't know what it was. They just loved me so much. And I did not speak no Chinese. And they're like, so we were like using this translator thing, communicate back and forth. And then they're like, I don't know what it is about you, but these kids love you and we want to have you here and want to be a part. Yeah. So it's like, they can still feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And same with the team, the managers, they came when I was leaving and they just literally sat there for an hour translate and to write me a letter of how much they appreciate me and everything.
Do you
And
still have that
I
letter?
still have it.
Okay, hold on to it.
I'm holding on to it.
Love is a language in itself. And when
Yes.
it can't be verbalized,
Mhm.
it definitely can be shown, right?
Yeah.
People
Mhm.
remember how you make them feel.
Yes.
I think that's a Maya answer.
That's a yes.
Absolutely.
Thank.
And so you keep doing that.
I will.
So I want to transition into your organization.
Oh yes.
And I know that you aim to support, minority Black females
Mhm.
in sports and athletes in basketball. What has inspired you to create or start this initiative? And what goals are you aiming to take this?
I think starting this was really about where I'm from and kind of my dad paving the way for me. Unfortunately, in the Black community, not everyone has a dad and a supportive dad. So obviously the people that are in my corner, we are trying to help these young Black females, and we don't want financial barriers to be a way. We do want to be inclusive with all females, no matter how much money you make, how good you are, you still deserve an opportunity because you're so young. I think just having this is just more for myself. I get a lot of joy just being able to be helping the young girls, being a role model, being someone they look up to, and they respect me so much, so much. But I think just having this as an opportunity, using basketball as a crutch to get into university, either you don't have to be a professional athlete, but if you can just use this basketball thing to just apply the skills, or even to just get into university, get a free education, maybe leave the country, try something new. And whatever that is, use basketball to get you there, because basketball has got me so many different places, and I'm so thankful for it.
Absolutely. I can agree with you on that. Now, share us a little bit about the organization, the name of it, please, because I think it's a delightful name.
Yes, of course. So it's definitely something I've struggled with, the name. I didn't want to make it about myself. I did have Doug Hill, he's kind of like my mentor. And his daughter, Ashley Hill's doing an amazing job with Prep Academy. Yeah. So he kind of like took me under his wing to help me with this academy. But he was like, you know what? Like, I feel like your name has to be in it, because your name, not everyone's name speaks for itself. And I was like, you're right. But he's like, no, like you paved the way. And this is about you and what you've done and what you can help accomplish for the younger girls. So it is the Denisha Provo Canadian Basketball Academy, which is amazing. And I do love the Canadian part in the sense of obviously with the national team, but also being where I am from. Yeah. And it can be an international thing, I think, as well. And then the academy is not just about basketball. It's about skills. It's about life skills. It's about basketball. Yes. And everything. I didn't want it to just be basketball, because I think as a female, we are more than just basketball players, and we have way more skills than we can even imagine and put it to. So
well said. I love it. I need to connect with my niece.
Yes.
And you may know her, Kyra Johnson.
Oh, yes.
Right? So, because she signed up for a program, and, I guess when kids are teasing each other, they don't realize that feelings are attached to those teasing. She felt a little discouraged. So hopefully, as I'm listening to you talk about your organization, I see young Kyras like that.
Yes,
right? Like
coming
those
through.
That I know, and other girls that you are also helping. To a level where they are totally confident.
Right? That's it.
Just it doesn't matter what anybody says.
No.
Right? And we joke around and gesture. We can do that.
Yes.
But, how do we get past what they're saying? Because even if you're on the court, you have your...
Oh, yeah.
Right? The spectators are the bystanders who are watching the game. You're shouting stuff.
Even the girls.
How do you deal with that?
Honestly...
I was like...
People are like, do you trash talk? I'm like, no. Do people do it to you? Yes. But I don't know, when I'm just in the game, I'm in the game. Right. And I've been in big crowds, and it doesn't faze me as much. Obviously, I think the one place I have encountered that is probably China. Yeah. Just because it's all Chinese players and it's only one import on at the time. But I don't understand what they're saying. So it's like...
But you can read their face.
But yeah, you can see their face. But I don't know what they're saying. But... it's just part of the game. It's entertainment. At the end of the day, it's sports.
So do you have a program running now? Because I think you're traveling, correct?
Yes. So we do have a program now. This is my second year under the business that we're going to take 2 teams to New York City, Brooklyn, New York, which is so exciting.
Nice.
But I do have to give the credit to my dad and Ian David and Coulter, as they've been doing this since I was young, years, taking teams. I just always, they can keep a name. Not like they didn't have the organization. So I kind of just use my academy to kind of keep this trend going. Yes. So we will go to, last year we went to see one of the prep schools that I played against growing up. And the coach, he's amazing, and he's currently looking for girls. So hopefully we can send some girls. So
what are the ages of the girls? That like where do they start at in the program?
So because I'm gone majority of the time, we are trying to focus more on the younger girls. So maybe I would say middle school age, just because that's kind of the age where you can actually get development and molding them. Yeah. High school, we have dealt with high school girls as well. But obviously, they came through the program at a young age. But we do start as young as 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Nice. But it's just spontaneous events where it might be a camp or skill sessions here and there. But for this fall, we are taking 2 teams, the middle school and high school team, to Brooklyn, New York, to play the Nike Rose Classic. We did it last year, and the girls loved it. And then last year, I surprised them with WNBA tickets. And
can I sign? I can be.
You're like, can I come? Yes.
You know what? I enjoy any sport.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. What other sport do you enjoy? But I enjoy any sport as long as the vibe is there and the
energy.
And
yes.
Like I get it all in there. You ask my nieces and nephews, like, Coco, you're loud.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
I don't, right? Yes. No, but it's just because you get so excited for people playing, especially when you see them playing with their whole heart, right?
Yes, definitely when you know them too. Oh no, you're fine. Definitely when you know the person too. I think it makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
But so we got WNBA tickets for them. Nice. Stayed at like a 5-star hotel in Times Square. Got them to explore Times Square just because I wanted to be more of basketball experience. Right. You know, this is what the opportunities you have. They all got Nike uniforms. We had commutators during the games. But I think the WNBA game was like the one thing that stuck with them because they're like, wow, people love women's sports. That's and right. This is like...
And the women play just as hard as
and they play so hard. And now it's just the last year, it's blowing up, the WNBA women's sports with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. They're kind of just like paving the way. And it's like, finally, it's time that, you know, the girls are getting the respect.
So who do you follow in terms of female professional basketball players?
I follow a lot of people. Okay. A lot of the girls I played against. And I think that's a good thing of having connections. But honestly, I would say Diana Taurasi is my favorite player. Mm-hmm. But in today's day and age, just looking at Angel Reese, being a young Black female, 22-year-old, I think she's 22. Yeah, she's 22 and she owns a soccer team. Okay. And she's making millions and she's in the WNBA and she's using but that doesn't happen to everybody.
Right, it doesn't.
She just used it to the way of her advantage. And same with Caitlin Clark. Like, she's young. She signed, I think, a multi-year contract of $18 million with Nike. She's paving the way for like women in sports. Like, this is possible. People's following her. And she's just so well respected. And she's, I think, 22.
Yeah, but I think the age in basketball starts young, and then it like when you get 30, is it age out or 40? Like, what's the cap? I should say. Maybe I should ask you that way.
I would probably say a lot of them are probably maybe 34 would be the end, depending on if they want a family or not. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I want a family.
Good. I was
28.
That.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a great mom.
Yes.
But because you also have that installed in you from your dad,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So I think you would be a great mom. Yes. Well, you know, is in terms of, before we end the show here, my question to you is, well, one, thank you for being on the show.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
Please come back and tell us a little bit more about your travel journey and all that you're doing over across seas. But in terms of the young ladies that are watching, right, those who haven't had the opportunity to meet you or be a part of your program, what would you say to them?
I would probably have to say the biggest thing my dad always taught me is to respect your elders and everyone around you. Play hard and have fun. And that's in anything. It can be in work. It can be in jobs. It can be in basketball. And just say no one's going to like do it for you. It's up to you. So like my biggest blessing is my dad's like, if you want it, go get it. If you don't, then it's kind of on you. And looking back at it now, it's like I've been to, I want to say 20 different countries. And literally because of basketball.
Because of basketball.
And it's paid for. And I'm living life and I'm exploring. And I've met so many great people. But at the end of the day, just respect others. I think respect is the biggest thing, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Don't burn bridges. That's another thing. And guard your reputation with everything that you have. Because that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And I feel like people that know me, they know nothing about great things, and no one can really question my character because I'm always going to be a good person no matter what it is. So I think that's a good thing.
Now, the other thing that I'll ask you is speak to those who have experienced injuries.
Yes.
And either stuck trying to overcome it or have now overcome it and still don't know what they want to do.
I would say injuries is tough, but I'm blessed for the injuries that I've had. Because without them, it wouldn't shape me into who I am outside the court. It was just a moment where I just sat still, but never give up. Each physio session is going to be hard. Go to physio, lock in, do what you need to do, go home, chill. And at the end of the day, find a hobby that makes you happy. Stay busy. My hobby when I tore my ACL is I enjoyed color and I was journaling so much. And I didn't realize how much journaling has helped in everything that I do. And I still do it until this day. But I just feel like do something that makes you happy going through an injury, because without that, you're just going to be negative all the time. There's false hope. At the end of the day, there's just a tunnel down there that it's like everything happens for a reason. I'm a big, firm believer. I don't regret anything in my career or when I did get cut, when I didn't get cut, playing, friendships, all that, everything happens for a reason. It's just a matter of time of when and why it happened.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And that's all a part of your growing, learning, life living journey.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Things don't magically happen. We're not like in a fairy tale land. We work towards the things that we desire to have. So I just want to thank you again for being here today.
Yes, thank you so much.
And for those of you who don't know Denisha Provo, please check out her social media handles. And also for those who haven't signed up here for a community update, please do so, okay? Because we are here for all of your local information and updates. And so I'm sitting here again, for those who don't, with a world-class athlete, an inspiration to many of us in our community of North Preston, East Preston, Cherrybrook. Stay tuned, stay informed for more stories about perseverance and community impact like Denisha. She is sure to be again here on the show.
Yes.
And to subscribe to hit the link. Press that button. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you will never miss out an episode. Together, let's continue to support and celebrate remarkable individuals making a difference in our community. I'm Nicole Johnson, and we'll see you on the next show.